What does Chivalry 3 need to take the melee slasher genre to the next level? What's going on, guys? It's Sean Islami, and today we're going to get into what I think the next big melee slasher needs to move the genre forward. So no more preamble, let's get into it. This one is a no-brainer. Chivalry 2 absolutely dropped the ball on cosmetics. Everybody looks the same because there just aren't enough options. When you compare it to a game like Mordau, it's almost a joke. Mordau let you change the color of your weapon handles, swap out different hilts, pommels, and blades to mix and match different weapon looks. Meanwhile, in Chivalry 2, my beloved longsword, the most iconic weapon of the medieval period, has exactly 3 skins. 3, and one of them is faction locked. And that's only the weapons. I'd even be fine with paying for cosmetics if they were actually good and more varied, but right now, they're just lacking. And the progression system needs an overhaul. The only thing to unlock in Chivalry 2 are cosmetics, subclasses, and weapons, and you'll unlock all the weapons and classes in no time. The game needs more long-term grinds, even if they are just 4 skins. The longsword has a level 200 skin, and I think every weapon should have at least one of those, if not even higher than level 200. Third-party websites like Chivalry Stats have given us leaderboards for who has the most EXP with each individual weapon, and it's proven that people that have played the game for a long time, like me and my fellow vitamin D deficient and grass allergic level 1000 friends, are just begging for something to be able to grind, even when nothing's on the line but bragging rights. Seasonal battle passes that are finished in a weekend just aren't enough. The next melee slasher definitely needs a meaningful grind and long-term progression system, no question. And next up, we have more support for competitive play. I'm including dueling in this despite not being the biggest dueler by any means, but it's a big part of the Chivalry 2 community. But the way it works right now has some big time flaws. The whole flourish to request a duel system leads to RDMers third partying and ruining everything. What we need is a dedicated duel mode, not just an ignored queue, but something that actually works and gives players a proper 1v1 arena. Maybe even ranked duels with MMR. Let people test out their 1v1 skills out in a more structured way. And as for competitive play, the game desperately needs more official support. Right now, it's almost non-existent, and the community runs everything, which they do a great job of, but it also means comp play is always fighting an uphill battle. Imagine if there were official tournaments, ranked matches, and in-game clan battles. Competitive melee slashers have huge untapped potential. A game that nails the casual chaos like this game did, but also has a dedicated side for serious skill-based play, which would keep the game alive for many years to come. We also just need more game modes in general. Team Objective is great, but let's be honest, it shouldn't be our only option. Team Deathmatch needs a complete revamp with better maps, but another solution is adding the Frontlines mode from Mordau. If you've played Mordau, you know what I'm talking about. A tug-of-war style mode where teams capture and hold control points. This would fix so many issues. No more ending great maps early after being rewarded for playing the objective on defense. Frontline keeps the fight going with more back-and-forth gameplay instead of a straightforward linear push. Battles shift across the map way more dynamically from what I remember when I had a PC. Chivalry 3, or the next big slasher, needs more reasons to keep players engaged, and a variety of strong game modes is the best way to do that. I know this one might ruffle some feathers, but hear me out. The Monty Python humor has run its course. It was funny at first, but after hearing For That Guy We Liked for the 1000th time, the joke starts to wear thin. Now, I'm not saying get rid of humor entirely, but lean into something darker, grittier. Like, imagine your character wounded, not prancing around with his arm missing, but hunched over, desperately fighting to his last breath. And imagine your voice lines aren't goofy quips, but ominous threats. Something that makes your enemies feel fear instead of mild amusement. This could be personal preference, but I think a shift in tone could breathe new life into the genre. Make death feel weighty and make the fights feel visceral and raw instead of goofy and funny. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, but a shift towards a dark fantasy setting could be a real game changer in my eyes. Mordau and Chivalry have really run the whole Monty Python thing dry, in my opinion. We've talked about cosmetics, progression, and game modes, but there's one big one that could seriously take Chivalry 3 to the next level. Siege battles are already awesome, but they could be so much bigger and more interactive. More destructible environments would be a good start. Think about Galencourt when you knock over the ships. What if you use the boat as a bridge to get to the next one? Something like that. Speaking of which, how about naval combat? Bannerlord's new teaser really got me thinking. Naval combat could be the ultimate game changer for the next great melee slasher. Imagine taking the battle from land to sea with massive warships applying to waves while players fight aboard, launching boardings, range attacks from ship to ship, and even using siege weapons to bombard enemy vessels. I already am getting excited just thinking about rage quitting from getting killed by a cannon. I could be writing fanfiction here, but what about combining naval combat with siege warfare for something truly special in one huge battle? Think about the potential of naval invasions where you storm the shores in a full-on Viking raid. Picture yourself on a long ship, going through the water, archers firing from the decks, and then leaping off to join a chaotic battle on land and storming a castle. And what about defending a coastal fortress where you have catapults launching flaming boulders or fire arrows at an enemy ship? As you make your way into the beach, the environment can change with sand dunes, cliffs, crumbling walls, harbors, all contributing to a dynamic battlefield with naval warfare and land warfare going on simultaneously. Games like Battlefield have planes going through the skies while people fight on the ground. I think this is another thing they should try. This one sounds the most ambitious, but I do think the next slasher should go big or go home in a sense. The other things on here are the bare minimum, but I'd love to see the next game, be it Chivalry 3 or otherwise, take a lot more risk and really go for it. But what would you guys like to see in the next slasher? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to do a part 2 with your guys' feedback and give my thoughts on it, complete with shoutouts and the like. And shout out Llama for becoming my first channel member if you'd like to shout out at the end of each video or to support with a donation, but if not, a like or subscribe would mean a lot as well. Channel memberships will be in the pinned comment, and I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.